Okay, so it is the middle of the year. Where are you with your New Year's resolutions, huh? Well, today we're going to talk about how to reconnect, how to get restarted, how to vitalize yourself to get back to health, how to love yourself back to health. So fasten your seatbelt because we're going to learn and grow together. You ready? I can't hear any music.
It didn't come on yet.
That's why. And now I was like 1 nanosecond off. Time to dance, Trey. Glad you're awake. You're going to have to do a flamenco for me on the show today.
What?
Flamenco.
And it seems like your best ain't good enough.
That's what you do in Spain.
If you're in need of hope,
That's what you do.
where
You do with the castanets.
right here. Right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful best day ever. And for those of you who are new to Lillian McDermott Radio Show, this is what the show is all about. The purpose of my show is to provide a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. And it is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal. It is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my viewing friends and my listening friends that keep coming back for more, will feel empowered to learn a new truth and live the life of your dreams. So, how are you doing at this point in the year? How have you kept to your New Year's awareness, resolutions, quote unquote, or put little bunny ear quotes up in the air? So today, guess what time it is? It's transformation time. Many times we have different preferences on how to embrace health. How do you live that life that you desire? Do you find yourself as the year goes by and we're climbing there to the end of the year, or you're in the middle of the year, the beginning of the year? Is your commitment to health any different? So today, it is Transformations time with Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic. And as always, the CEO of Transformations Medical Weight Loss, Trey Stouffer, is here to do just that, to help us kind of get refocused. And how do we love yourself? How do you, us, we love ourselves to good health? And since that is our sole purpose in life, to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Trey Stouffer is here to do just that. Welcome back, Trey, to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I see that you're a little distracted.
No, I'm on top of my game. How about you? I've been up since 4.
I'm like, I know, Trey. It's like you're such a multitasker. And so you're doing the show, but then you're signing like $1 billion contract to do something else, right?
Yeah, right. Okay.
So
Health
Trey,
and Wellness of America.
that's right. You're going to help the president get on track with when it comes to health and wellness. Let's not go any further than that. Okay, so Trey, why don't you share a little bit about your background and how you recommitted to health?
I recommitted to health about 12 years ago when I had 2 feet of my small intestines taken out from Crohn's. Mm-hmm. And that was a great eye opener, quite frankly. I always thought I was healthy until then, and then you have bumps in life, and you realize I can do a lot better. Mm-hmm. So now I'm Crohn's, absolute Crohn's, but I'm drug-free and symptom-free for 11 years now.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Diet related, and I, with every ounce of my heart, believe that my diet has not only helped with my Crohn's, but has helped me in multiple other facets of life.
That's wonderful because, I think the reason why we go through things in life, no, I know the reason we go through things in life is so that we can learn how to get through it and help others do the same. Because what's the point of us going through something and hoarding the information on our success to get to that other side? And it's just to be able to help someone get through it. And this is what Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic has done. You've been able to help people go to that place where they don't have to have Crohn's disease, or they don't have to have a major disease. This is a place where people can educate themselves and learn a new truth about health, right?
If they accept the knowledge, absolutely. You know, the misnomer about our product is people feel like it's weight loss related, and the truth of the matter is it's health related.
Mm-hmm. That's
side
right.
effect is weight loss. You know, that's a pretty positive effect.
Yes. And so you have a whole team that envelops people from the beginning. And for those of you who go, oh, I don't know where Transformations is, Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic has probably a clinic near you. I'm trying to get them to the Jacksonville area, but for sure in Melbourne. So there's offices in Oviedo, Orlando, Lake Mary, Claremont, Kissimmee, Tampa, Mount Dora, of course, Melbourne. And I'm trying to get him to go to the Jacksonville area because, you know, Trey, when I first met you and started looking into your company and what you guys represent, I thought, you know, you're teaching people how to eat well, you're teaching people responsibility, you're teaching people, you know, how to improve their nutrition. And so is that something that you feel is your combination to success? Or what do you feel is your combination to your success?
Oh my God. You know, there's so many things. I feel like we put out a high quality product from education. I feel like we charge a very reasonable price. We've always geared our pricing on volume versus trying to make everything. And quite frankly, just the interaction with wonderful employees.
Wonderful. And we're going to continue our conversation with Trey Stouffer when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Yeah, Trey. Yeah, Trey.
Yeah. I saw it in the corner. I saw it in 30 seconds.
Okay, you got it. You got it. You did. But that's my time, Trey.
Oh, well.
When you see 20 seconds, that's my time.
Damn it, I'm paying for it. It's going to be my time today.
That's okay. I'll give it to you. If you're not in the middle as I was born in the backwoods of Mississippi, and let me tell you how painful my mother's childbirth was, if you start doing that, I'm going to interrupt. But
never heard that one.
You weren't born in the backwoods of Mississippi. Where were you born?
Lexington, Kentucky, St. Joseph's Hospital.
Nice. I
don't know about all that, but I was.
Yeah. So do you get to Kentucky?
Not often.
Yeah. Do you have family there?
No, not now.
She was just happened to be there at that time.
Mm-hmm. Well, my aunt was there, and Olita moved down here, and she was one of the founders of the company.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the one.
And you saw the horse race this weekend.
Yes. No, I didn't. I'd be lying if I said I did. Do you know, this weekend, Trey, I have been running on fumes. And this weekend, the kids were supposed to come over, and because of illness and some transportation issues, they weren't able to come. And I was also supposed to go up to Jacksonville, and I had bowed out because the kids were coming. And I spent a disconnected Sunday. Saturday, I had to work for the show, but then after that, it was just pamper myself. I went to the beach, caught a sunrise. I was at the beach till 10, and then came back, went shopping with Robert, and then we went riding our bikes around Cape Canaveral and waved the ships goodbye.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time in the sun yesterday, and I felt really, really good. How about you?
Good.
How was your trip to Spain?
It was amazing.
How long were you there?
12 days.
Wow.
Thank God I live in the U.S.
¿Y hablas español ahora?
No habla.
No. How did you handle it for 12 days? has seemed like 12 years, right?
They're English instead of my Spanish.
Right here waiting.
Yeah.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn from one another. And today's teacher is Trey Stouffer of Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic. There's a Transformation Medical Weight Loss Clinic near you. So go to transformationsweightloss.com. Now, today we have the CEO of Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic, Trey Stouffer. And today, Trey, I thought we'd talk about getting back on the health train again. You know, you just got back from vacation, being gone for 12 days. A lot of people had kind of an expectation that the start of the year, they were going to get fit. And here we are chugging away in the year. And so it's time for like a smackdown from Trey, or maybe some pearls of wisdom that we get from you all the time. But, you know, I thought we'd start with, you know, you had shared that you had Crohn's 12 years ago, and
Still do.
Yes. Yeah. What?
Still do.
Mm-hmm. But you were able to love your body back to health. And I thought, you know, how can we talk about that today? Let's talk about loving our body back to health, and not being angry with how our body is reacting to the lifestyle we have, which is, do you feel that that's what attributed your Crohn's, was maybe your nutrition, the way you were eating? What do you think?
No, it's genetic.
It's genetic.
Absolutely. And the poor, I'm not even going to say poor diet, but, you know, from youth to probably early 30s.
Yeah.
I drank Coke, I ate pizza, I ate fried foods, I ate all these things, and that's just a disruptor of your body.
Absolutely.
And, you know, so then when it finally hit me, I had to take an educational swing. And I either chose to go with medications that have obvious side effects and unknown side effects, I might add,
Mm-hmm.
or you start eating healthy. And, you know, when you walk down the path of eating well, you start talking to people that have improved their diabetes, have gone off diabetic medications, have eliminated medications of all sorts off their portfolio. Just there's nothing better than eating well, and it's not always easy. However, it's I dropped my glasses. My bad. That's one of the bad things about getting wiser in life. But the side effects of eating healthy are, you feel better, you eliminate medications, you do all the positive things. You know, I don't know that I want to give anybody a smackdown, but quit blaming somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to sound somewhat horrible. It's going to sound funny coming from a CEO, but I get complaints, you know, oh, I haven't lost any weight. Well, have you looked in the mirror? I mean, have you done what we're asking you to do? Because if you have, I'm really going to be shocked that you haven't lost weight, or your health hasn't improved, or.
Yeah, you're talking about taking inventory.
You're talking about taking accountability is what you're talking about.
Well,
yeah.
You know, when you take inventory in your life and you say, okay, just like when you go to the doctor, they check your pulse, they check your weight, they check your vitals. Mm-hmm. So as you're doing this vital checking, then the doctor can decide what's the next step for you, right? Mm-hmm. So mm-hmm. as we're talking today, we're taking inventory, and then it's up to us to decide, do we want to do whatever it takes to achieve the health that we want? So mm-hmm. you did it. You did, you know, and I'm sure you're not 100% perfect. I'm not 100% perfect with my nutrition. Look at those eyes. I wish that everybody on the radio could see Trey's expressions, but you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and click on this video, and you will see his expressions when I am talking to him. But so taking inventory is one thing, but then making a plan to execute what we want is so crucial. So yes, you had to take inventory. Yes, you had have Crohn's disease, but you did what you needed to do to be symptom free and not have to be on medication. Were you ever on medication, Trey?
No, I chose to take the plunge to eat well to avoid any type of medication, because a lot of those medications are lifetime commitments, and we just don't know what the side effects are.
Yeah,
well,
but
the theoretical lifetime commitment.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what the pharmaceutical industry would want you to believe.
Sure.
That it is
and
a lifetime.
I've got a dear friend. Matter of fact, a dear friend has Crohn's, and she was taking. I probably shouldn't use the name of the product.
No. Well, you can.
Don't. But I
You
believe
can.
it was Humira,
Uh-huh.
and that's a Crohn's. Yeah.
Well,
I
some
think.
Crohn's medication.
Anyway, some Crohn's medication, and she's going in liver failure because of that medication 12 years later. So, and ironic enough, we basically had our problems about the same time. I got to know her about 6 years ago. And, she's going through all sorts of problems, but she used that as a crutch. So where I cheat a little, she was cheating a little bit more than me because she had the medication to fall back on.
That's right.
So, again, accountability is massive, and it's how you feel. It's your weight. I mean, when I gained 15 pounds, I felt 15 pounds. And I can't imagine, if I gained 100. And those are symptoms that happen all the time. People are like, I'm so heavy, I can't lose the weight. Sure you can. You can do anything you want. It's all about portion. You don't have to kill the taste. You don't have to eat cardboard. You don't have to, suffer too much. But, you can't just YOLO. You only live once, by the way, is YOLO.
Yeah. You must have seen my expression, YOLO.
Well, YOLO.
YOLO.
You
only live once.
Yeah, you can't go crazy. Everything within moderation. Unfortunately, life's very short, and you want the best you can out of it.
Everything in moderation, I guess that works sometimes, but you don't want, Dr. Esselstyn said to me, you don't want a little moderation of erectile dysfunction. You don't want a little bit of diabetes. You don't want, so everything in moderation. So he's saying that, I told him, he told me that this woman came up to him. This is Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn of Forks Over Knives. And he said, this woman came up to me and said, Dr. Esselstyn, I follow your diet 80% of the time. And he slams his arm on the table and he says, that's not my diet. My diet is 100% of the time. So he feels that you have to be spot on every time. Moderation can kill you, is what he believes. So I just thought, let's talk about this, because that's what we tell ourselves, that if we take this pill, like Dr. Joel Fuhrman proposed the question a while ago on my show, and I have taken that so deeply. What if there wasn't a medication for your diagnosis? What if? What would you do different? So I'm asking you, Trey, that's a question that is so powerful. And the reality is, that there isn't a medication that cures you 100%.
Correct.
It's all life. Most of it is lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely. I've talked until I'm blue in the face multiple times with multiple people, and it all goes back to you can control your life. What you choose to do with it is your choice. Quit making excuses. Quit blaming other people. My daughter, just this trip, said, such and such told me. And I said, and by the way, this is kind of a funny story. Okay. I did wreck the car while I was in Spain this trip.
No way. You had a car accident?
Well, I scraped it in a parking garage, a very tight parking garage. I know you've seen that commercial.
Yes.
So I said, honey, I want you to understand the gentleman that gave us directions told me to take this route. Well, it ended up being a very narrow dead end road, and I had to back up and blah, blah, blah. but it wasn't his fault that I wrecked. He gave me poor directions, but it wasn't his fault. It was my fault. And I try to teach her, you've got to take accountability regardless of the situations, because quite frankly, you took their advice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to start to blame one, then it's going to be easy to blame five and start taking your own responsibility, accountability. If you're heavy, do something about it. If you don't feel good, do something about it. I'm not saying get rid of Western medicine.
No. Western medicine is wonderful to patch you up.
Absolutely. But take accountability, because if you're 90, and I'm being a little short here, but 90% of the diabetics in the world, I honestly believe, can either A, take less insulin, or B, get off medications completely from proper eating.
Well, that's not just a belief, that's been proven. That's medical evidence on that statement. So
Yes.
time and time again, we have all the doctors that are, what do you call them? Plant-based doctors or
Mm-hmm.
nutritional science.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll see the evidence with that as well. So you talk about advice, and it's very concerning because we'll watch television, and on television, you'll see this woman or this man say, I used to be, and then they'll say their diagnosis, whether it's rheumatoid arthritis, diabetic, heart condition, erectile dysfunction. You just name whatever afterwards. And so you'll see the statement, which is, and I started taking this drug and I feel so much better now. So the next 60 minutes or 60 seconds or 45 seconds is them, the visual, like a B-roll, them having a good time, but the side effects that they're talking about, loose stools, headaches, migraines, death. But there's this beautiful background, and we are learning, and we're looking at the visual aspect, the visual component, or we're listening to it, but completely in our field of neglect is everything that could go wrong by taking the side effect of this medication. So could it be possible that the advice that we follow is the advice that might be convenient so that we don't have to do whatever we need to do to achieve what we want?
I can find the advice that I'm looking for on the internet if given enough time for any justification that I have.
So how do we know, other than listening to the Lillian McDermott radio show where we present the nutritional evidence of...
Use your common sense, for God's sake. I mean, I think that I can drop a car on my foot and it won't break. I read it on Google, so I'll take that advice. Well, I'm not going to go try that theory because I think it would hurt.
Well, hopefully you'll do more than one research, and I think I get your point, that you don't just go to a website you trust. Like, for example, I love Dr. Andrew Saul. dryourself.com. I love nutritionfacts.org with Michael Greger. Those are websites. The website for responsible living with Dr. Neil Bernard. So many different ways that we can, when it comes to nutrition, protect ourselves and learn a new truth. And we're going to continue our conversation with Trey Stouffer of Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. So must I say you are on Fiverr, sir?
Fiverr? No, not Fiverr today.
No Fiverr today?
No Fiverr today.
Well, I mean, so you wreck the car. What happens when you wreck a car and you're in Spain?
Fortunately, I paid for it with my American Express, and they have a coverage clause.
So when you rent a car, you did not, you waive.
I never do. I waive everything, even in the States.
So American Express, not that we're doing a commercial for American Express, but when you travel with that, so they cover the cost?
Well, they usually cover the secondary unless your insurance won't cover it. My primary insurance does not cover abroad. So then American Express acts as the primary insurance.
Okay.
So fortunately, and I found all this out afterwards, but I knew American Express had a great insurance clause.
So how do you? I would love to have been a fly in the wall, to have been in that car as you hear the screech.
Yeah.
Can you still hear it? Can you
Yeah.
still hear it, Trey?
Yeah. I jacked up the driver's door and the passenger door pretty well. They'll both have to be replaced.
Well, how thin was that door? I mean, how small was that road?
Well, it was kind of small, but when I was turning in, I was going to make a 3-point turn, and they've got, a post about 1.5 feet off the ground, and I just didn't see the post, so I turned into the post. It was my fault. I shouldn't have been there, but it was my fault.
I guess you cannot file, and this is so important, Trey. You cannot file a police report or a report saying such and such somebody else's fault because they told me to go here. It doesn't.
No.
If it doesn't wash, if it doesn't work in a police report or a claim, why would we do this to our body? Going back.
Oh my God! My favorite story is we would never put sand in our car because it would jack up a $20,000 vehicle, but yet we'll put crap in our body and jack up something that's priceless. It just blows my mind.
And you know what, Trey, maybe we can talk about this if you feel qualified to talk about this. But when somebody you love is on cocaine, or is cocaine crack and cocaine are the same?
Kind of. One's a powder, one's a solid. From my understanding, and I'm quite ignorant.
Okay. And you
At least
heard
about that subject.
And you heard it here on the Lillian McDermott radio show. Man, how long have I been waiting for that? No. So I'm just joking. I'm joking.
It's okay.
But when we have somebody that is addicted to drugs, smoking, we are so in their faces. We wouldn't passively sit by and say, okay, well, would you like for me to buy you some cocaine or crack or...
No, but you'll do it for food every day. I mean, that's exactly where you're getting at. It's an addiction.
How do we handle that? And maybe this is a conversation we can talk about on the air, so we're not repeating ourselves for people who are viewing this. If they
listen, I've got an uncle that was an alcoholic from the time I was knee high to nothing, and by the grace of God, he lived to be 75, 76.
But that's still young. In today's
I hear what you're saying, but how he polluted his body for him to have lived that long. He totaled, I can't tell you how many cars. I mean, he was a train wreck physically. So I experienced a lot of that from an addiction standpoint. Don't know much about drugs, haven't been around that a lot. But food and alcohol I can absolutely speak to, but it's the same animal. That's the thing. People don't realize that it's acceptable to be food addicted, but it's not acceptable to be cocaine addicted.
Yeah.
In society.
When you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where you can hear us worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. And for those of you who've been you've been texting me that there is an issue with the if you're listening on the radio with the show going in and out, you can always go to whenyouneedafriend.com and stream the show live until we figure out what's going on. But for those of you who listen to the show regularly, as you know, whenyouneedafriend.com is a place where we can grow together. This is where we have real conversations about life, about, no politics, no sports, just responsible living. And where does responsibility affect your life? Everywhere. Trey just gave us a story about how someone sent him to the wrong place and it caused him to be in a somewhat of an accident, but it wasn't the person who sent him there. It was his responsibility, his response to where he was at that time. You know, I tried to do, Trey, I have to tell you, I tried to do a 3-point turn inside my garage one time. I have to tell you that story off the air, but remind me. But anyway, for those of you who have not become a subscriber, why haven't you? So I would like to talk to you right now. Stop what you're doing. Become a subscriber at whenyouneedafriend.com. When you become a subscriber, the show is sent to you. So and you can become a subscriber not only at whenyouneedafriend.com, but when you click onto the YouTube video, you can subscribe there, and the video is sent to you, the audio is sent to you, the conversation's on and off the air. So this is where, you know, where we continue the conversation, where we can help each other grow and embrace one another and all the things that are happening in our lives, whether it's good, bad, indifferent. It's all good. It's all good eventually, that you will see the beauty in it all. And so I want to encourage you to go there. And while you're there, click on to my social media, like me there, check out the podcasts, you know, subscribe there. There's so many different ways to stay connected. You can also call at 407-373-5959 if you ever have any comment or question, 407-373-5959. One of the things that I always ask you to do when you are at whenyouneedafriend.com is check out my sponsors. Trey Stouffer, Transformations Medical Weight Loss, has been a sponsor of the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, promoting wellness and this like-mindedness for a while now, for a long time. And I'm so grateful to them. And I've developed a great friendship with Trey, always happy to see him. But go to my sponsorship page, check them out, check out my sponsors. And support them the way that they are supporting the show. Without our sponsors, and by the way, if you want to become a sponsor, feel free to call me at 407-373-5959. But figure out how you can support them the way that they're supporting me today. And so when you want to, I want to encourage you to also go to transformationsweightloss.com. That's transformationsweightloss.com, or you can call them. If you are ready to take your health back, it begins with taking control of your nutrition. Of course, it's a mind, body, spirit approach to healing. But I want to encourage you to call now. Call 877-827-8669. That's 87-START-NOW. Again, you can go to transformationsweightloss.com, or you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and click onto their logo. If you live in Oviedo, Orlando, Lake Mary, Claremont, Kissimmee, Tampa, Melbourne, Mount Dora. But guess what? They have a group of people that come down together from Jacksonville to Orlando, which is a fun little drive to go to Transformations Medical Weight Loss in Lake Mary. So there's so many different ways to stay connected. Trey, thank you so much for supporting the show and believing in what we're all about, because you guys are doing it as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. We enjoy it.
Thank you. And while we were off the air, I asked you the question. I'm going to say the question again. And this is the thing. How do you, and I asked this question to Trey, and he knew exactly where I was going before I finished the question. I know you will too. If you had someone that you loved that was addicted to cocaine, crack, drugs, maybe they were on pain medications, how would you deal with them? Would you sit passively by, buy them their drugs, and enjoy a wonderful whatever life they have left? Or would you be in their face? Would you be about change? What would you do if someone you loved, your child, that you absolutely would die for? What would you do if someone you loved was addicted to a drug? I know you would do everything you possibly can, but here's the thing. Many are addicted to food. Foods are designed to create addiction. The food industry spends billions of dollars making sure that first bite, you're hooked. Now, if you have someone that you love or you yourself are dealing with a food addiction, it is time to take ownership. A good way to start is to reach out to transformationsmedicalweightloss.com or call 877-827-8669. But here's the deal. Do you sit passively by? What would you do? Food addictions are just, and Trey, I didn't say this off the air, but when somebody's addicted to drugs, they can clean up. And people may not even know that they're addicted to drugs. But the moment you become addicted to food, people can see it.
They can see it and they pass judgment, which is not completely fair.
Nope.
However, there's a lot of perceptions in life that aren't fair. But yeah, we can. And here's the thing. Food is one of the easiest addictions to correct. I hear what you're saying. Let me rephrase that. I hear what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't know.
No, because you don't have to smoke and you don't have to drink and you don't have to do drugs, but you must eat.
But you don't have to eat crap.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You choose. The big difference is yes, the boxed foods and everything that is out there is designed for you to eat more. Cigarettes are designed for you to want another one. Cocaine, I don't know what the hell their design is. Stuff like that. I don't know. But when you don't go into the center consoles of a grocery store, the parameter is where the healthy foods are. Then you've got organic, non-organic. So here's what I want you to do. This is a great visual. I want you to take an ounce thimble or a shot glass and put chemicals in it. And then I want you to grab whatever fruit you want and say, okay, I'll take a shot of chemicals with the fruit that I have. It's the dirty dozen. You don't want to do that. So then you have to have faith that organic is just that. It's organic. Well, I don't know that I completely believe that either, but at some juncture I have to have faith that it's what it says it is.
Yeah.
So that's why I say food is the best opportunity to break an addiction, because you can replace it with something that's just as tasty, just as viable, and produces the same results. Now, I don't think you can do that with the drug addictions or the alcohol addictions.
But you can still substitute healthy food. You can substitute exercise. You can substitute dealing with whatever pain you're trying to numb. There's still things that you can do. You're still in choice. You're still in choice. And I want to add to what you're saying when it comes to that shot glass of toxins. I just attended the Institute of Functional Medicine conference. Fabulous. So the IFM. So when people are relaxing in the weekend, I am working still. And so I just got back from this, and they focused on toxic overload. They presented evidence which showed people that have a predisposition. Let's say, for example, there are people that eat horribly but don't get diabetes. But then there's someone that eats kind of bad and gets diabetes. And they said that what pushes people over the edge is the toxic overload. The cadmium, the mercury, the glyphosate, which is Roundup. We have Roundup in our organs because we stepped on it or we ate it through our foods. And it's causing, now I'm not saying that if there's still people that if you eat poorly, you're going to get a side effect, which is a diagnosis, not a symptom. They don't call it a symptom. They call it a diagnosis. But they're talking about these pesticides, the mercury from our fillings and all that going into an organ and now pushing our body to that next level, the autoimmune diseases. We're going to have a doctor on the show, Dr. Roundtree, that says, autoimmune disease, they talk about autoimmune disease as that it's your body eating you and eating your immune system? He says, no, it's your body tackling all the pesticides that are stored in your organs. Fascinating information, and we're gonna tackle toxicity in the body. But for now, we're going to continue our conversation with Trey Stouffer when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Can you believe that? They have shown people that they're like, they're diabetic, but they eat an organic, lifestyle. They have eliminated or they found people that do not eat. They'll eat, but they're not eating the toxic overload that we're having. And that's what they're showing, that like there's a bunch of people in the family, what makes a difference is the toxic overload, and it puts you over the edge.
But that makes so much sense.
I know.
On every level.
Yes. But so Robert Roundtree, he's going to be coming on the show pretty soon. I think, I can't remember when we're doing my pre-record with him, but when he said, autoimmune disease, it's not your body attacking itself. It's your body attacking the form, your modified self is what he said. Mm-hmm. Modified. Well, how have we modified ourselves? Well, we have all this junk in us that we think is food, which they call frankenfood.
Yeah, that screws up the insulin resistance receptors. Look, there's always been cancer. There's always been diabetes. There's always things like that because, quite frankly, sometimes our bodies just can't handle whatever it is, and it's a genetic disposition and whatever. But the percentages are going off the chart, and it's because of all the crap we're eating. There's no two ways around it.
And glyphosate in the organs.
I don't know what that is.
Glyphosate is Roundup.
It's funny. I've got of course, growing up in rural Oklahoma, I've got a farming friend that is like, Roundup is nothing more than salt water. It dries out the blah, blah, blah. And I debated with him, and I disagree with him to this day. But a lot of people feel that it's nothing more than salt water. I mean, very, very varied a little bit. There's some chemicals in there.
Glyphosate?
I wouldn't drink it.
So
wouldn't want to eat it.
They're saying that Roundup is salt water? I'm gonna have to
with a variation, but essentially, yes, that's the gist of it.
Wow.
I disagree with it.
Yeah, I heard you loud and clear.
Don't debate me on that one.
No, but I was stunned. I went from one to the next at this conference. You would love these conferences, Trey. The attending.
I love being in the room with more intelligent people than me on that subject, because at the end of the day, there's no other way to learn than that.
Well, I tell you what, next time I go one of these conferences, well, you were in Spain, so this didn't work this time, but you were in Spain. I'll be more than happy to bring you with me. You'll be my assistant.
Sure. I'm happy to go. And, matter of fact, we went to Morocco too. Want to talk about a third world country. OMG. I mean, that was crazy.
But what are the diabetes rates there?
I don't know, but they've got other worse.
I can't hear you.
You can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow with one another. And today, my partner in crime is Trey Stouffer. Absolutely love it when he is on the show. We get to have a conversation, a real conversation that he has no clue that what we're going to do when he shows up at times. He's nodding his head, yes. Yeah, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I want to encourage you that if you are interested in taking back your life and you need someone to hold your hand through this, there are a lot of companies that are going to inject you and say, oh, you can only do this and you can only do that. You can only eat like 2 grams of fat, or 10 calories a day. That is not sustainable. It is not sustainable, and that should not be used as a tool to diet. And Trey has very strong feelings about that as well. And so, but if you are ready to, because you need someone to hold your hand through this. If you live in Oviedo, Orlando, Lake Mary, Claremont, Kissimmee, Tampa, Melbourne, Mount Dora, you know what? And their office is very short distance. Just grab a whole group of friends, because it's so good to change your lifestyle with your friends. Create a group where you can motivate one another. The Heal Tribe in Jacksonville, the Heal Tribe in Space Coast. Join this movement of health. Get in the car, and all of you go there together and enjoy working. This is what friends are all about. This is what we're about here. And if you have any questions, you can call 877-827-8669. That's 877-827-8669 or 87-START-NOW. You can go to 87startnow.com or transformationsweightloss.com. Now, Trey, as we were this is our last segment. Time just flies when we're having fun.
It does.
One of the things that I was listening to as you were speaking, you talked about judgment. And you have a lot of people that come into your offices, your clinics, because let's talk about the format. When somebody comes there, you don't assume that they're all eating poorly. They could have a medical condition causing. Sure. So talk about the transformations format. When people come in, what do you guys normally do? And what should they expect?
Well, nothing's really a format per se. I mean, we have to hear what the causes are.
But you also do testing.
Oh, of course. I mean, we have a SMAC 20 or SMAC 18 CBC, THS. We have a massive blood work profile that lets us know where you are.
And that's included in your entry. Okay.
That is included. But look, 70% of America undereats. That's a trick statement. By undereating, I mean skipping meals. I mean all sorts of things. When you skip most of the day and then you gorge at one time, or you gorge twice, your body doesn't know how to handle it, so it stores it for safety. It thinks you're starving. So there's all sorts of different little tricks of the trade. Sometimes hunger means thirst. Our bodies, it's a big trick. So if you can learn a tweak here or a tweak there, you may be close, you may be far. I mean, we don't know. And that's why everything's customized, because, and the other thing is that people don't realize is we're only as good as what you tell us. And then we're also only as good as what you do. So look, I can't perform a miracle. I've tried it on multiple occasions. It just doesn't happen. But I can give you the best damn information. Yep. That's a reasonable word. But you don't have to listen to me, but why pay me the money to not listen? I've never understood that one. But, it is what it is. Also, I wanted to, and I'm sliding a little self-promotion in, and I'll try to get Dr. Shaffrin back on the show with us.
Good.
His probiotics are about ready to be complete. And as a Crohn's person, irritable bowel, everything else involved, he is known as the Crohn's Whisperer in the Central Florida area and abroad. And he just notified us that he's retiring at the end of this month, which is, yes, it's disappointing because he is just a wealth of knowledge. But I think his legacy will be these probiotics and some of the other products that he's developed. So we'll get him on and we'll talk about that. And I think that we're close to an agreement on doing something to where we sell his products as well.
That's wonderful.
I'm excited.
So he's not retiring. He's retiring from practice, but he's
correct.
going to take his knowledge and globally. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful, because it's important that I don't believe that we ever retire. We just shift. we shift our talents to somewhere else. So good. I'm glad that he's going to continue doing that, because we really enjoyed having him on the show a year or so ago. And we talked about mushrooms. Where is that one at? We are working with mushrooms as well.
You know, I take cordyceps daily and lion's mane. Those are mushroom products. We're still trying to get a cocktail put in place with that, but you know, everything manufacturing takes a little bit of time especially when it comes to the ingredient list.
Yeah, and you want to be pedigreed as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I was saying with you that when people go to Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic, you create a plan that is right for them. Not for you, but for them. And you make sure that there are no underlying conditions that are keeping a person and from releasing the weight that they want. And then I also know that you always have someone, a medical doctor, overseeing these people, right?
Always. We can't dispense, and we can't let any medical products walk out of that door without a medical individual, either A, overseeing, or B, prescribing.
And so what are you discovering when people join and they've tried different ways? What are some of the feedback that you've received through the years, Trey, when it comes to having a team where if you don't have the support at home and people are sabotaging at home, what are they saying about the family they discover at Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinics?
Well, you know, I mean, I was going to say you could go read our reviews, but the truth of the matter is there's some negative reviews up there. We are not a company that hides everything negative. But read the review, because people can get very nitpicky, but collectively our reviews are extremely high. We monitor somewhere between 90 and 95% positive reviews.
That's great.
So check that. Oh, it's amazing. But yes, people learn to rely on us and they trust us. And there's good reason. We spent 32 years working on that.
Absolutely. And so
now I'm in your 2 minutes, so you can go.
Trey, you're not supposed to give out the tricks of the trade. There we go. So we're still good. 2 minutes is a long time, Trey.
I know, it's an eternity.
And matter of fact,
I know, damn near. So real quick fun fact, you know, a lot of these natural products that cause you to lose weight instantaneously overnight, they pay their models $50,000 to gain 30, 40, 50 pounds. They do the before and after and they swap them.
Yeah, you had mentioned that before. How did you discover that, Trey?
Well, my wife used to be in the industry and she's been in several movies. Small parts, as you know, but and done some commercials and whatnot. And one of her associates got paid to do that.
Wow. And, you know, so what you see is what you get with Transformations Medical Weight Loss Clinic. And what you get,
unfortunately,
no, and what you get is a team of support. And it's unfortunate that this is such this is a field that we just don't know enough of on our own. But together, collectively, united with a place where the goal is to teach you how to fish as opposed to give you a fish, so to speak.
Yes.
You're teaching people how to self-regulate, right?
Daily, hourly, and all the time.
Well, thank you so much, Trey. I really do appreciate everything that you're doing. And for those of you who want to learn more about Trey and Transformations Medical Weight Loss, you can call 87-START-NOW. You can go to 87startnow.com. And so, Trey, thank you so much for, even though you've been really, really busy, that's right, really, really busy, traveling the world, you still made time for me today. So thank you very much, Trey.
Glad to be on.
And to you, my listening friend, it is time. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. I hope we made it that one time. But Trey, thank you so much. This was great. I love it when you speak your truth. And am
I going to get kicked off the air pretty soon for speaking that?
Well, maybe every time you say damn.
Damn's not a cuss word anymore. I looked that up.
You did while you were talking to me?
Yeah. We're accepting much worse. Oh my goodness. So yeah.
Off the air. I mean, I really don't know if damn is a word that you can or cannot say.
Golly gee willikers.
You can say that from now on.
I know. Nobody knows what it means. So
Trey Stouffer, thank you so much for everything
I'll
that
see you
do.
later.
We'll talk soon. Bye.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
You too. Bye.